Johnny Depp has been a name in Hollywood since the 80s, and up until his most recent defamation case, he's been quite the mystery to the public. I'm Melissa Malati, your host, and in this video, we're going to dive into the dark past of Johnny Depp. Growing up in Kentucky to parents John and Betty Sue Depp, Johnny had a bit of an unusual childhood. He's quoted as saying that his home life was not particularly stable, secure, or safe. His mother, Betty Sue, was very verbally abusive to Johnny, his siblings, and his father, John. He mentioned in the most recent trials that she had the ability to be as cruel as anyone can be, and that she was also quite violent as well. His parents were always fighting, and Johnny has been quoted as saying that once he got his guitar, he would lock himself in his room and play until it was time to sleep, something he did to escape the drama and noise. His family moved around a lot throughout his childhood. Johnny once told Oprah that he moved about 40 times throughout his childhood, which, as you can assume, probably made it hard for him to feel quite grounded and stable. "My mom liked to move a lot," he said. "One time we moved from one house to the house next door." At the young age of 11, Johnny had his first encounter with substances. He's quoted as saying, "My mother used to ask me to go and get her nerve pills. And I think I was around the age of 11 that it dawned on me that a nerve pill was calming her nerves. So I brought her nerve pills and I took one." At such a young age, the brain is still developing, and it is particularly vulnerable to the effects of mind-altering substances. It essentially primes the brain for more substance use, and it is a contributing factor to what can evolve into adult dependency. So I'm sure this starting off point paints the picture to show you how he got to the place he was at when he dated Amber Heard, where he found himself addicted to a few substances. But perhaps I'm getting too ahead of myself. Before moving to Hollywood in 1983, Johnny's parents split up after Johnny's dad had finally found his strength to leave the toxic relationship. Johnny at first had mixed feelings about this, feeling that his father had abandoned them, but as time passed, he eventually understood that his father had no choice, as he could not be in that toxicity anymore. Once Johnny began pursuing his music career in California, he met his first wife, Lori Ann Allison, and she introduced him to Nicolas Cage, whom told him to pursue acting. He found success quite early in his career, booking A Nightmare on Elm Street, and then, not long after, 21 Jump Street. But that was the beginning of his first big problem being an actor in Hollywood. He didn't want to be a teen heartthrob and featured in all the teen magazines. He felt very uneasy about the idea, and it was constantly a point of tension for him that made him want to leave 21 Jump Street throughout the years. During this time, he ended up getting a divorce from Lori and later began dating actor Sherry Lynn Fenn. Most people know her from Twin Peaks, but I know her from Gilmore Girls. She played Anna Nardini. I only just connected the dots, so your girl is still buzzing over this. He shortly after dated the very iconic Jennifer Grey from Dirty Dancing, and they even got engaged for 9 months. Most recently, Jennifer has gone on to comment on their relationship, stating that he was always very sweet and kind. But during their relationship, he became extremely frustrated with becoming a Hollywood heartthrob. She recalls him having periods of extreme jealousy and possible times where he had quite an ill temper, but she chalked it up to his Hollywood frustrations. After that whirlwind relationship ended, Johnny swept up Winona Ryder, and they quickly became a fave Hollywood couple. Wino forever. They had a 4-year relationship that led Johnny to getting that infamous tattoo, Winona Forever, which turned into Wino Forever. Gah, why does that make me love him so much? It was this time that Johnny had cited as the darker period of his life. He did say this, however, in 2005, so I'm sure at this point in 2022, his perspective on this may have shifted slightly. This was around the time he began shooting What's Eating Gilbert Grape, which, if you have seen the movie, then you might see how it would be triggering for him knowing his upbringing. Similar to the movie, he had to take care of his mom and siblings and deal with the weight of being young and missing out on being able to be a normal teen and play. You can imagine how that might bring out the pain in him to have to relive this experience in the movie. After his relationship with Winona ended, Johnny began his second very famous relationship with model Kate Moss. In reflecting on this time, Depp has been quoted as saying, "There was a lot of liquor. I was pretty unhealthy. He has also been quoted as saying, "I never wanted to be the guy people looked at. I felt I could only be myself when I was alone, that I turned into some kind of novelty. The only way I could get through that time was to drink." During this period, Depp was arrested for trashing a hotel room at the New York Mark Hotel. In an interview for Playboy in 2004, referring to this time, he said, "I was poisoning myself with alcohol and medicating myself. I was trying not to feel things, and that's ridiculous." I find it so interesting that he uses the words poisoning myself, which shows that he is, or perhaps was, very much aware of his self-destructive ways, or the harm of his choices. It's easy to see that he clearly struggled with addictions as he continued to do them amongst knowing this. Even though Depp has talked a lot about this being a dark time, Kate Moss's view was that Johnny was still able to take care of her, something that she told Vanity Fair in 2012. For a very brief period in 1998, Johnny dated actress Ellen Barkin while they were filming Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Ellen has gone on to comment on this time, saying that she witnessed Johnny being verbally and witnessed him throw a wine bottle at the wall once. She has said, though, that she has never seen him be physically but that he had bouts of violence. Here's Johnny's response to these remarks. "She wanted a proper relationship with me, and I did not want that. I didn't feel the same about her as she did me, and I suppose from that moment on, she became very, very angry." He also went on to say that Barkin just holds a grudge against him now. Following this brief relationship, I personally think it was his better years. Is this because he finally seemingly found a relationship that worked for 14 years? Johnny began dating Vanessa Paradis in 1998, and their long-lasting relationship rolled out some of the best moments of his life: the creation of the beloved character Captain Jack Sparrow in the Pirates franchise, and the birth of his two children, Lily Rose and Jack, among many other accolades and beloved characters that came to life in this 14-year love story. But unfortunately, this love came to an end with some speculation that Johnny's next girlfriend, Amber Heard, being the reason. Regardless of the alleged cheating, Vanessa has gone on to represent Johnny's character as someone who is known to be kind, attentive, generous, and a non-violent person and father. Says a lot. Which leads us to arguably the darkest part of Johnny's life to date: his relationship with Amber Heard. This 4-year love affair, that was also a marriage for 15 months, was said to have infidelity and violence. In this relationship that has led to what I'm sure is now going down in pop culture history as the biggest event of 2022, the court trials between Amber and Johnny. After Amber wrote a Washington Post op-ed about her domestic violence experience in 2016, Johnny Depp sued her for defamation. The trials have revealed so much that we never knew about the very private Johnny, such as the fact that he has the most interesting brain and is quite funny with his very frequent metaphor use in his everyday combos. As he was talking about having to bear his dirty laundry out for the world to see, he said, "Yes, I'm ashamed that it has to be spread on the world like peanut butter." I have to say that made me laugh. But of course, the trials have also revealed that Johnny does seemingly use some very colorful language and hurtful words when he's upset. During his years with Amber, he admitted to being addicted to an opiate called oxycodone. While filming the 4th Pirates of the Caribbean movie, Johnny hurt his back and his doctor prescribed it to him. He has been quoted as saying, "I was bit by a snake, and before you know it, that monkey is on your back to stay." He began to detox during his relationship with Amber. In 2014, Depp was also diagnosed with primary dopamine imbalance, clinical depression, ADHD, and chronic substance use disorder, including nicotine addiction. The defamation trial with Amber Heard has also revealed some dark incidences throughout their relationship, including tapes where Amber has openly admitted to hitting Depp, pictures of Depp's finger that was cut off due to a bottle that Amber allegedly threw at him, and the destruction of a private property in Australia that Depp destroyed by painting the walls and writing on the mirrors. And of course, one of the darker incidences, a darker shade of brown that is, oh boy, I make myself laugh. The time Amber pooped on Johnny's side of the bed. Bad joke. Many witnesses have shared that they heard verbal abuse from Amber and Johnny, as well as witnessed some of their very destructive fights. She called him old, and he calls her soon to be ugly and talentless. And then they get really ugly with each other. A quote from witness Io Tillett Wright. Since Amber's Washington Post op-ed, Johnny has lost many franchise deals, including Pirates of the Caribbean and the Fantastic Beasts franchise. But despite that, witnesses have claimed that he has since been doing much better. Supposedly, he doesn't drink much anymore at all, and that he's been living a sober life. Awesome. Well, sometimes you have to embrace the storm and wait for it to pass, and often the sun will come out again. Honestly, it sounds like for most of Johnny's life, he has been living in a storm. So hopefully this relationship has finally helped him have enough of the storm, or in his words, hopefully he has finally stopped poisoning himself with substances and people, and he's finally allowing himself to have peace. That's all I have for you today. I'm Melissa Melotti, and thanks so much for watching. Mwah. Much love. Oh, I can't believe I wrote that. Okay, this is a lot. Whew. All right. Okay, I'm gonna just say that whole thing again. At the end, my energy is off now because I'm like laughing in my brain.